Welcome to our podcast, Fashion Meets Media. Our goal is to explore together the history of mass media and its effect on fashion. Every Saturday, we will dive into the history of a particular media, and every Tuesday, we will discuss how that impacts fashion. My name is Savannah Jones, and today we will be looking at the history of film and movies. Film making has come a long way. To be exact, the film industry started in New Jersey with famous names like Fox and Universal, but now has made its way to California. Not only has film traveled 3,000 miles, but has improved along the way. Let's take a look at the history of film. In the 1800s and the early 1900s, movies started off as photographs. Inventors such as Joseph Nice, who discovered photography, and Muybridge, who created the first moving picture when he captured a horse's gallop, and Thomas Edison, who owned the film industry, were just a few involved. These film creators started at the bottom, which was a simple development of a photograph which turned into a collection of photographs to tell a story. They tested different ways to view film. One way was the Kinetoscope in 1891, was invented by Thomas Edison and William Dickson. The ASC Museum explains Edison's invention. The kaleidoscope was designed for films to be viewed by one individual at a time through a peephole window at the top of the device. The kaleidoscope was not a movie projector. However, it did show the basic approach of what would eventually become the standard for movie theaters. A matter of fact, in 1895, the Lumiere brothers arrived on the scene when they created the cinematograph, which allowed a handful of people to watch the film together. Movies became more advanced in 1920 when talking was introduced. These were referred to as talkies because they included music, song, and one-liners. Richard Koszarski, the author of Hollywood on the Hudson, writes how the first talkies take place in Camden, New Jersey. To name a few, Victor Recording Studios produced Lilac Times in 1928, and the producer Columbia produced 42 talkie titles in New Jersey. It's crazy to me to think that movies in the 1920s only lasted up to 12 minutes with little noise, when today all I know is movies last 120 minutes with a ton of dialogue. One of the reasons why these 12-minute movies took off was because of the Great Depression. People, especially families, needed to escape from realities, and movies became that for them. Another reason why movies took off was because companies moved to California. This was because Edison owned the film industry, and since he owned Motion Picture Patents Company, which controlled all the film laws and requirements, a handful of small film companies wanted more freedom in the movie world, so they traveled to California to get this creativity they wanted. Furthermore, the first movie filmed in California was actually titled In Old California by a filmmaker named D.W. Griffith. At the time, Hollywood was a small town, but movie makers seemed to love California, maybe because of the film freedom, or maybe it was because of the sunny weather. In the end, by 1930, movies were a normal activity in society. Today, filmmakers have access to more technology to allow for more creative ways to record a movie, such as phones. Almost everyone has access to record anytime or any place. Also, drones and algorithm editing have become popular recent updates to the film industry. With a new amount of technology, the film world has a grip on society, enabling them to influence the public, and here are a few ways that it's happening. The first way that the film industry can use movies is to shape and model culture. Movies do a great job of modeling and relating what is on the screen to the ones watching it. This is because movies contain an element that is present in society today. This could be concerns, attitudes, or flaws within society that can be brought into the film. Another way, in a simple way, that movies can shape society is through fashion. People tend to dress similar to the character that they are drawn to. We will discuss more of this on Tuesday. Another way movies influence society is through symbolism. Symbolism is a powerful way to create meaning. Disney does a great job of doing this through the colors in their character, such as in Tangled, Rapunzel wears a purple dress, which reflects royalty. However, in Brave, Princess Merida wears a teal dress, which displays freedom, which cannot be limited. These are just a few ways movies can influence culture. With the help of technology, movies are able to be produced at a faster rate. In addition, America has developed new ways to access movies. One popular way is through electronic devices. Now people have access to any movie because of the apps that simply provide the newest movies. Movies have come a long way, changing the way that movies are produced by the messages and the symbolism they can now incorporate into the films is a total game changer. Please join us on Tuesday when we present how movies can relate to fashion. But for now, we would love to hear your thoughts on how movies influence you. Or is there anything you would like to hear us talk about when we review how fashion can use film? We would love to answer any questions you may have. Just comment. Thank you for listening. We'll see you back here next time on Fashion Meets Media.